Hi everyone. This video is an introduction of Occult Watcher Cloud. It's available online on cloud.occultwatcher.net, and if you go to the web page, there's some links which are available to everyone without a login, including search of an event, development phases, and the about box showing the current version. And you can also log in with your Occult Watcher username and password. And once you've logged in, you can see some additional pages, including tags, upload events, etc. So, what is Occult Watcher Cloud, and what's the idea behind it? Currently, at present, the beginning of 2021, all of the events from different feeds which come to Occult Watcher are hosted on their individual web pages. You're probably very familiar with this. If you go to any feed really, and you have a link, then if you go to the link, there is a web page, an HTML page with lots of events and individual events. In order for Occult Watcher to synchronize or to get the latest versions of all of the predictions, it needs to go to the index web page for each of the feeds you have subscribed to, and then go through each one of the individual events, which may be hundreds or even thousands of them. And for each one of them, it needs to make an HTTP request to find out whether there is a new version of this event or not. So one problem with this approach is that it takes very long time for the synchronization to take place. And considering that the feeds are also increasing as number, this also means that the total time of synchronization is considerable. The second problem with the current system is that it actually takes quite a lot of effort to set up a new feed. In order to do this, first of all, changes need to be made to Occult Watcher itself, the client, and everyone needs to go and update to the latest version. But also the feed maintainer will need to have a web page where to host the predictions in this format. This presents a challenge in creating more feeds, and this is one of the other problems which Occult Watcher Cloud intends to resolve. So what is it and what it's doing right now? So the idea behind it is that it's a system on the internet, in the cloud. This is why it's called cloud, which automatically computes all of the predictions using Occult and using the latest Gaia star catalog for a period of time ahead, which is 2 months at the moment. So as you can see, if you go to the events page to search for events, you can see that there's 15 million events on the cloud available right now between the 1st of February and the 13th of April. And Occult Watcher Cloud, or OWC, as I'm going to call it for short, constantly computes new events and uploads, updates its database, which is available behind. All of these events, which are calculated and available, which is the 2 million events, they're transient in nature, which means that they only exist there for a period of time. And then as the time passes by, so currently the first event available is the 1st of February, and today is the 13th. So OWC keeps 2 weeks behind and 2 months ahead. So once we've moved to the next week, some of those past events will be removed from the system. The idea of those events and the existence of those events and making them available is so they can be discovered by feed maintainers or all the the future feed maintainers, which may be just interested to find an event that seems good to observe. Currently, as you all know, in order, because the number of events is so great, in order to only get a smaller number which is manageable by an observer with the most interesting events, this is why we have the current feeds. Obviously, the number of events in the feeds is also big, because everyone has different instrument. They can go to a different magnitude. You know, they're willing to observe different number of events, etc. But the whole idea of the feeds in Occult Watcher and the whole system is that it finds or it advertises events which are interesting for observers to observe. The idea is that the transient events which exist in the Occult Watcher Cloud will be discoverable, so they can be tagged in a particular way. And once an event is tagged with a particular tag, this will make it discoverable by Occult Watcher users. And then the same way Occult Watcher users currently discover or subscribe to events from different feeds, they will in future find events with different tags. If you've logged in with an Occult Watcher account, you can go to the tags page, and this will display all of the available registered tags on the system. At the moment, the tags are only the ones which correspond to one of the current feeds. As you can see, these are some of the feeds which have been migrated already to OWC. But the idea is that in the future, tags can be created for any type of event. The idea of a tag is just to make an event special in a particular way. So the same way TT14, for example, makes an event special by saying, well, it's an event observable from the territory of Australia and New Zealand with this magnitude, this duration. There may be, well, in the future, a tag which, for example, represents anything like events with very long duration, or events with involving a particular asteroid, which may be interesting for a research or anything like this. It's similar with the TNO Extra Lucky Star and the real satellites, because these events are actually calculated by the professional astronomers from the Rio group, and they again are advertised for observations, and everyone is encouraged to report their results back to the Rio group, so they can do their research. Maybe in the future someone else would like to do a different research or observations, looking for observations of particular class or type, or even a number of particular asteroids, and then events involving those asteroids may be tagged with this tag, and this will make it findable or discoverable in Occult Watcher. Currently in version 5, so this is the version which is yet to be released soon, as of 13th of February 2021. The only thing that has been done is that the existing feeds remain exactly as they are, the same. However, for some of them, and these are particularly the ones with listed tags, they now will be fetched from the Occult Watcher Cloud system. And I'll show just in a second what does this mean. In the future, I expect that the filters and the criteria for finding events for an individual observer will actually include specific tags. So an observer will be able to go and find the available tags, will be able to find events with a specific class or of a specific type which have been tagged with a particular tag. And if they find them interesting for what they're willing to dedicate their observing time, they can they can find those events, and they can observe them. So in the event system, if I go back to the events, the 50 million, this page can be used to search any event in this time period by asteroid number and a date. So I also want to say that currently OWC only computes predictions involving numbered asteroids. So if I just search for a random number, I expect to get something back, and then I type 12 because I know that this asteroid is in a rich field right now, so there's plenty of occultations. For some of them, maybe there will be none for a period of 6 days, which is plus minus 3 days from this date. So let's just go and pick one of them. Doesn't really matter which one. If I select an event, Occult Watcher Cloud will show a page for this event. So this is all the information which is available out of the box in the vanilla OWC prediction. So this prediction was calculated by OWC, as you can see, and it was done on the 24th of January, which is a couple of weeks back from now. And it's been done using the Astorp orbits. At the moment, OWC now calculates predictions only using Horizons orbits and currently Gaia data release 3. So for these events, I have some basic stuff. So this is not a very interesting one because actually it doesn't go through any land. But the whole idea is that all of these transit events can be searched, can be found, and people will be able to tag them. Let's try to find a different one, maybe a bit more interesting. So this one, for example, it goes over a number of countries in Northern Africa, in Asia, and a little bit of Europe. And then OWC shows all the countries where the path goes over. And currently there's no tags, which means this event hasn't been tagged. The other thing which OWC presents is an automatic star chart using the Aladdin or Aladdin Light viewer presented by the Strasbourg guys. And if I click on this, it will show you, well, that's a very rich field, very star rich field, as you can see. And my star is right there in the middle. And if I keep going down, so it must be this one. So using Aladdin, you can reverse your star chart scale if you star chart colors if you want, but this can be exported to a PNG file, and then this PNG file can be plotted and can be used for finding, maybe not in that rich star field, but certainly this is something that can be used for star catalog plotting. If you click on the prediction, so OWC lists all of the predictions for the given event, and currently there's only one. This is the prediction that was originally generated. If I go to the prediction, it will currently plot just the path of the event on a Google map, and then because this is work in progress, maybe at a later day this page may look different. But this is what it looks right now. So it gives you all the interesting information about the event. And then if you click on a different location, it will tell you what's the sun altitude, the star altitude, and what's the event time for this place. And of course you can zoom in. Now you can go in. You can go and find anything you want. So star is at 20 degrees here. So in Spain around this place, it's around 13 degrees at night, and that's the event time. And there's also the occultation elements file in XML format for occult that can be used. So this is a vanilla event. One thing that can be done by feed maintainers, and if you are a feed maintainer, and if you log into the system, there will be this upload events link. So currently the way events can be tagged at this time is by uploading a file with the events, and then once the file is uploaded, OWC will automatically identify the events from the file, and it will apply a particular tag which can be used by the feed maintainer. Also for predictions from external sources such as the Lucky Star or the South Western Research Institute, for example, they can use their own predictions from the XML file itself. Otherwise, OWC will use the prediction that it has generated. So if I try to go and find an event from that has been tagged already, let me go and find one for you. So let's find one from Lucky Star. Let's try this one. So because OWC, sorry, because Occult Watcher has already fetched those events from the cloud, the view details on the web link will actually go to a page on the cloud for this event. And in particular, this is the event. As you can see, that the tags here has this lucky star tag, and it tells you a little bit of what is this tag about, and who is maintaining it. And then also, because this is a lucky star event calculated by the lucky star guys, there's also this this little alert just letting you know that you meant to report your observations back to the people who generate those predictions. If I pick a different one, so currently there's only one prediction for this event, which is the original lucky star with Gaia DR1 event. But if I pick a different one, some of the events may be actually tagged by more than one feeds, and I'll select this one, for example. And if I go and open it up, you can see that there's two different predictions for this event, and there's also two tags. So it has been tagged as Ital Occult, and as well as the Ibero Oc. So these are the two feeds in Europe. And there's two separate predictions which have been updated or created by these people on those dates, and they're using orbits from a different date. And then OWC will also show you the difference between the two predictions. At the moment, if I go to a normal event, which means untagged event. So there's only one prediction for an untagged event, and going forward, this is supposed to be the horizons with the latest Gaia data release event. But once an event has been tagged, like this one, or like you know, those ones, the next thing that's meant to happen, which is not working yet, is that OWC will go and calculate all of the predictions with different orbit sources and the latest Gaia. So this would mean there will be prediction with horizons, prediction with Astis, prediction with Astorp, and prediction with NPC, and all of these will be listed online on the page. And also in the future release of Occult Watcher, they will be also available in Occult Watcher itself, so an observer can check what's the difference between the path using the different predictions. So all of this is coming. And speaking about future and what's coming, there's also this development phases link, which is also available even if a user hasn't been logged in. So it's a public page. So this currently represents the current state of the cloud project. So phase 1 is almost finished, as you can see by the green ticks. So OWC is calculating automatically the predictions with a particular catalog. It allows the feed maintainers to upload a file to tag events. All of these feeds have been migrated already to OWC. And then I also have a version of Occult Watcher that can fetch those events, but it's not been released yet. And then currently I'm working on phase 2, which involves automatically computing the best prediction as we hope it's going to be. So once an event is tagged, OWC will fetch the elements, the oscillating elements at the time of the event from horizons, and then it will use those elements for the prediction, and it will also use the error bars as computed by horizons, which we believe are the most accurate as error bars. So once all of this has been done, then well, the new prediction, obviously, the new horizon prediction will be ready. But then after that, there's a whole bunch of other things which are currently just mentioned as other features which I hope to implement, and they include moving the IOTA occultations entirely to OWC, and then at some point making the cloud the tags available to everyone, not just to the current feed maintainers. So hopefully in the future there will be also a page for normal users to go and find events. So not just this search one, which is by asteroid number and date, but a more advanced one, which will include, for example, searching paths going through a country or a particular region on the surface of the Earth with a different duration, different stuff, etc. So once these events are found, they can be tagged by anyone with a particular tag, and then they could advertise this tag with Occult Watcher observers to say, hey, look, I found those events. I think they're interesting for this reason or that reason. And if you want to observe them, if you think they're really good events, you can simply go and find them using my tag in Occult Watcher. So this is where eventually I would like to go in, but probably there's still a couple of months at least, maybe more, until we get to this place. So that's it at this time in mid-February 2021. Please have a look at the development phases. I will try to keep this updated, at least with what's being worked on at the moment and what's coming up next. And then if you have any ideas about what can be improved or anything really, any feedback, please reach out. I'll be happy to hear your thoughts. This was it. Thank you very much for watching this video.